That's unusual.
Mm.
And I guess I'm just really curious about how that's allowed you to take a different tact in terms of what the purpose of this company is and how you go about the game of capitalism. Because you don't have capital with a big C behind you, kind of demanding things and putting pressure.
It's so great.
Yeah. And did you have that thought at the very beginning? Like, I don't want capital behind me. I don't want that whole.
Absolutely. I mean, in fact, I would describe that as kind of the core tenets of why I got into business in the first place. The primary motivation was to not have a boss and just to be able to do things as I wanted to. You could also say I kind of got into it naively, but when I was starting Peak Design, I had my own savings, and I intended that to carry me quite a long ways. But then I encountered, I didn't have much. I had I think about $18,000 in savings from my first 4 years of work. And that carried me for about 7 months of development, lowercase d development. Definitely we're talking. I was using SketchUp, a free software problem to do my.
Compared to what I see looking around now,
Yeah.
we've got 3D printers and little components everywhere, people iterating on everything.
Definitely lower D development, and living pretty darn cheaply, even though I was in San Francisco. And when I ran out, I didn't want to go back to a new job. I went back to the restaurant industry for a little bit to kind of make ends meet. And then when it came time to throw down for tooling and for the first 1,000 units, I didn't have the money for that. And, I not ashamed to admit, I knocked on mom and dad's door, and they gave me a loan for $20,000 to cover tooling and in the beginning of a first run. And I mean, my folks are
not a convertible note.
Not exactly a convertible note. Yeah, the terms that Mike Daring put forth were not super rigorous. My dad's a firefighter and my mom's an engineer, a nurse. And they were just like, "Of course, honey, we'll help you out if we can." So I think they, my dad's always been extremely frugal as a person. Never made a bunch of money, but has always had a little acorn squirreled away, and so he was able to do that. And there were no terms of payback given, but after the Kickstarter, after day 3 of the Kickstarter. And this is about 6 months after the initial $20,000 loan from my parents. Yeah, the first Kickstarter capture camera clip. It was already off to the races, and I had already sold through the 1,000 units that I had pre-ordered. So I had needed to up that order to 10,000. And so I said, "Hey, mom and dad, this one's a bit more of a sure bet. I've already got 90,000 in pre-sales right now. I just need 30 grand more to get to the end of this Kickstarter."
So you needed to manufacture these.
Yeah, I needed to manufacture more. I was already manufacturing them, needed to manufacture more. They said, well, that one's a little trickier. I think they actually went out and got a home equity loan to get that next 30 grand. But they did that, and I paid them back, a week after the Kickstarter ended, and I gave them $5,000 in additional, which was interest, which was thank you. But it wasn't a calculated amount. There was no, it was just